So welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy, and today we are looking at the 10 best budget buy goalkeepers to finish off the series of the best budget buys. Make sure you do your own research in these guys, because a lot of these might be quite old now. They might retire or have already retired, and I've missed some of that news on that because I'm not doing a full deep scouting search on them. Remember, they're just quick searches for the cheap prices that are playing well. It's up to you to then go and have a look at them and make sure that you check everything out before you purchase any of these players. And during this video, I'll also be giving my giveaway for the 400 subs that we reached last week sometime. So that's going quite well, and we'll do that sometime in the video. It won't be at the start or the end, but somewhere in the video. So watch out for that, and good luck to everyone on that. So the first keeper we're looking at then is Sorare Wakey. Now he plays for Gamba Osaka in the J League over in Japan, but his contract runs out on January the 31st, 2023. So again, he might be moving on, he might retire, who knows, go and do your research on him. His last 5 score then of 72 would suggest that he's going to sign for someone at least. Now his price then is quite high really for the goalkeepers, as you'd expect, but 35 for his floor price, £28 for his 3-day average. Now looking at his old score, his old prices I should say, he stayed sort of average, a few dips here and there, and then back in where he's got back into the team and stuff. Looking at his scores, you'll see here again, look at these scores, 90s, 80s, 70s, but he's also had a few poor games here, so hopefully you catch him in a good time. Look at them last 4 scores, really good. In fact, his last 6 scores have been quite good. So that's our first goalkeeper, Sorare Wakey from Gamba Osaka. So we move on to the second keeper then, and we're looking at Marcus Kolker. He plays for Hansa Rostock in the Bundesliga 2. You see his last 5 of 58, and 47 for his 15, 47 for his 40, and 100% at everything. So he's always in that team, always number 1. £35 for his floor price, and £28 for his 3-day average. Really good goalkeeper this one. I bought one for £35, so I'm the highest in the last few weeks, I'm guessing. But on average, you'll see down there, and he's still getting quite low compared to what they paid in the past for him. So looking at his scores, you'll see here he's got an 83 and a 74. Then he's hitting around the 40s, which isn't bad for a goalkeeper. It's better than a DNP goalkeeper, which you might pay the same sort of price for, maybe a little bit less. But you know, he could hit, and you might get an 80 one week. So I think he's a decent goalkeeper. Let's say he's played every game. Just one bad one there with a mistake for the goal, but in general he's a good keeper, and he is at Hansa Rostock, so not too bad, decent-ish type of league, and he should be there at least until the end of the season. Third keeper to go and have a look at then is Andreas Luther. He's hit the last 5 of 64, plays for Kaiserslautern in the Bundesliga 2. Has played in most of these games, and last 40 is not as high as some of these goalkeepers. So he's maybe playing on form at the moment rather than his average sort of type of score that he gets. But he's £32 there, and his price over the last the last 6 months has come down quite a lot. He was up here at like £67, and we're down now at like £30 odd. So his price has gone down. Could go back up again. I'll have a look at his scores here, and his scores are not too bad, are they? 80 there, 67 and 60s. Really good scores for a cheap goalkeeper, or one of the cheapest goalkeepers. That's decent. And that's our third keeper, Andreas Luther at Kaiserslautern. And the next one to look at is Jörg Siebenhandel. Now, he's with Sturm Graz in the Austrian Bundesliga. He's only contracted till 23, and he's 32-year-old. Now, I believe, I recorded this today, but I've done the research like yesterday and a day before that, and I believe they've just got another goalkeeper in now. Whether Siebenhandel moves, he said he wants to move and have a new challenge, so he could move. Whether it's to a better club or a worse club, I'm not sure. I don't know what the stand's going to be like wherever he moves to. So just again, check on these. Keep checking on the latest news on them, because I don't do that on these quick searches. So go and have a look at the latest news to make sure that you're up to date with everything about them before you go and buy them. But decent scores. Now, you'll see in this price graph here, everyone's gone down slightly. So you'll see in this price graph, then it used to be up at like 120 quid. Something's happened here where he's gone right down then, and he's now down at, like I say, around the £32 mark. So I think he's still getting a good bargain here. Even if he moves to another Austrian club somewhere that's not as good, he might make a few more saves than he has at this place, because there'll be more action. So looking at his scores then, we'll look at all of his scores. And again, for £32, you're getting a goalkeeper that's either going to hit 30s or he's going to hit 70s. So it's sort of bang in the middle of them lot. 30s and 70s looks like is what he does all the time. You see he's getting most of the games here. A couple of bad games he's played in. But was a decent keeper for Sturm Graz, so we'll have to see where he moves to. But there's definitely another keeper been coming in for him. So just to confirm this, I had a quick look at his news, and you'll see here that the chapter ends for the goalkeeper. So he's not going to be at Sturm Graz next season. We don't know where he's going to go, but he does want a new challenge. He's not getting his contract renewed. So there you go. Let's see where he goes to. So moving on to the next one, then we've got Mattias Caviccioli. Now he's in Mineiro. Again, do some research on him because I don't know if his transfer rumors out or him moving to a bigger club or not. But his last 5 of 57, last 15 of 59, and the last 40 of 57, proving to be one of the better goalkeepers down at the lower end of the budget. 100% in all the games. He's down as the 15th best goalkeeper, and his price for £32 pretty decent, isn't it? I want to have a look at his last 6 months' pricing then, and he's another one that's come down. He was up at like £70 and now down here. So I want to see his scores, and if we have a look at his scores here, you'll see it. Let's do the whole scores and not just the last 1 year. So yeah, you'll see on here that he was hitting a lot of greens. Then he went DNP, and I don't know if he was out injured or whether he just got dropped. But then he's come back quite strong looking at all these greens. So definitely one to have a look at. But again, do the transfer news, have a look into him, make sure there's no injuries or anything. And he could be a real bargain, couldn't he? At £32 for him. He's playing in the Brazilian league then with American Mineiro. That's Mattias Caviccioli, and he's also 36 now, so that's also against him. But that's what you get for these cheap keepers. So before we move down onto the next 5 goalkeepers, and I want to have a quick look at the giveaway winner from the last video that we did, and I'll sort that out. I have got a winner, but there's so many good replies on this that it was hard to choose, but this one did get it in the end. So we're going to have a look at this, and it's on my replies to that last video. There was a massive amount of comments, and they were so good as well. The winner of this one, though, because it's such a good report, I think, and he's covered quite a lot and put a lot of time into this, then, is Magnus Hyman. So Magnus Hyman, you will be getting one of the cards from my giveaway list in my gallery, and you can have a look down this side. Just go and have a look at this comment, and you'll see that he's mentioned all of them and why he's bought them and why he thinks it's a good story. Really good. I mean, there were so many good ones as well that went into a lot of detail, so thank you for that. Thank you for keeping it going. And of course, it's not just for me or for yourselves putting these comments down, it's so the whole community can have a look at them and see why you were picking certain players, and it might get them to think a little bit differently to why they do at the moment. So well done, Magnus. If you can get in touch with me, you can see my gallery up there. It's Wakey Academy. You've got my Twitter on there. You've also got my Discord on there, and you can reply down on YouTube as well. So get hold of me and let me know which one of the cards you want. If you go onto my gallery and press on my squads, down at the bottom you'll see a giveaway. If I can find it somewhere, giveaway section here, and you'll see I've added a few more cards to that now as well. So we've got Stefan Scribo, Agus Medina, Jason Mierstadt, Damien Rosbach, he's a very good player, this one, Enzo Conlise, and Max Christensen, also a very good player. So decide which one of them you want and let me know. So cracking on with the goalkeepers then to have a look at. This one, £29. You'll see that they're all quite high price-wise, aren't they, compared to what the other positions were. But they are goalkeepers, and a lot of them are very old as well, so make sure you check this out. I keep reiterating it, make sure you check and do your own research. But this guy is Kim Yin-hyun, who's with Cerezo Osaka in the J-League, and he's got a contract till 2024, so maybe he does still play next season. I haven't heard any transfers yet, but go and have a look, make sure. We'll have a look at his 6 months price then. And you'll see he's dropped, but not too much then. 20 odd now, and he was up at £60 was his highest one for the last 6 months. I want to see his scores and make sure he's playing every game then. because with these keepers, obviously, they sometimes get chucked out of the team or dropped for certain games and that. But have a look at all his scores. You see here quite a lot of greens, quite a lot of yellows as well, to be honest, but at this sort of price, that's what I expect to an extent. But you can see he's been playing 90 minutes in every game. There's one DNP there, but 90 minutes in every game. So he was like the number one throughout the whole of his season by the looks of this. Can get big scores, 70s there as well. A couple of 40s, I mean, he's not playing that well. I'll let more than one or two in. But I think a very good goalkeeper for that price. And he's at the moment £27 for his 3-day average and £29 for his floor price. So that's our next goalkeeper, Kim Yin-Hyun at Osaka. Now the next one we put up here then is Yang Hanbin. Now he is £29 for his floor price, £24 for 3-day average. Good scores last season, 49 for both his L5 and L15, and also got a 50 for his L40. He's playing in most of the games, in fact all of them there in his last 15. Now, he's not got a club at the moment, looking at this. Now, I don't know what's happened with him, whether he's out of contract or something. Maybe you can tell me in the comments below. He's a South Korean goalkeeper, 155th on the list overall. But I wanted to look at his price graph a second, see if he's gone up and down massively then. Because there might be news of him retiring, there might be news of him moving on. But yeah, his price hasn't changed too much from £50 down to like 30, nearly £30. His SL5 scores then. We'll have a look at all of them then, just to get a rough idea. And again, it's sort of like split between the 40s and the 70s by the looks of this. He's either 40 or 70, that's what you're getting all the time, within that sort of range, I mean. He's playing every single game, look, so I don't know if he's out of contract, like I say. Comment below, let me know on these, because it's always useful for the whole community to help each other out. Tell them if someone's moved on, or if something's happened to him, or has broken his leg or something like that. Especially with these South Koreans as well and the Asian footballers, it's hard to get the news on them in English to find out what's going on. So all you experts out there, let us know. But that's the keeper. Good scores, as I say, all the way, and at that sort of price could be worth having. But at the moment, it looks like he's got no club. And the next keeper is pretty interesting. This is João Ricardo. I remember having a few of his common cards, and you've still got one. I've still got his common card. And last year he was doing really well. His scores were coming quite well. I looked at him and thought, yeah, he's all right. He's £27 floor price, £23 3-day average, and last 5 of only 43, so he's off form slightly. Looking at his last 40 of 51. Only 80% of his last 5 games in. Now he has just moved to Fortaleza, I'm sure he has, and we'll have a look at the moment of his scores and find out where he was playing before that. I want to look at his price graph first, and we'll see on this, is there a big change in anything? Yeah, I mean, he's been up at like £70–80, and now, as we say, down at 25 now. So quite a big difference again in that. It might just be the normal drop that the limiters have had. But we'll go to his SL5 scores, and I want to go to all of them, because he should be pretty good from what I remember. And yeah, a lot of greens there, look. A couple of yellows and a few oranges there, and even one red. But again, at £25 for a goalkeeper, he should be starting. And yeah, he was playing at, I don't know how you say this, Sierra, whatever it might be. But he's not there now. He's now at this new club, Fortaleza, in Brazil. So he should play, and he should be getting decent scores, I think, in the Brazilian league. So yeah, that's him. Loads of games down there, loads of decent scores. And he's one that I might be having a good look at, and depending on how he starts off for Fortaleza. The next big news was, we've now got Fernando Miguel. Now he's at £16, so lower, that's his floor price, and his 3-day average. Now, he plays for Fortaleza. Now, of course, we just mentioned João Ricardo, who's at Fortaleza now, been brought in, so one of these is going to move, and I'm guessing it's Fernando Miguel will move, or be reduced to number 2. So be very careful with him again. Do that research. He was 66 on the goalkeeper list as well, so I don't know, we'll see who gets out in that position. This is how quickly the football changes with transfers and things. Now, have a look at his price then. So he was 16 now, or he is 16 now, I should say. In his last 6 months, not a massive drop, so it's not through the transfer happening. He hasn't dropped in that sense, so we've got 2 good goalkeepers here, because when we look at his scores over last season, in fact, we'll go to all his scores then, since he's been here. And we can see there's a hell of a lot of greens again there, but a lot of DNPs also. Now, maybe he was just brought in until they got a goalkeeper, but he's been producing decent scores, hasn't he? 69, 66 for a goalkeeper then. It's good scores, but for a goalkeeper that only costs £15, £16. The scores are too good to be true, so something's going on there. So we'll have to have a look at him. I mean, this didn't help, did it? See where he's leading to goals, getting a 3. That's probably why they brought in a new keeper. However, good scores all around, so he must be going somewhere, because he's 37, so he might retire and even, I don't know, I haven't really looked into it. Now, I've just looked into news on him, and I can't see anything on Google. However, there's so many adverts come up on that whilst you're trying to look at it, that it covers the whole screen, and it's hard to try and find out if there's any news on him, proper news on him. So get on Twitter and have a look around there and make sure that he is still playing for them and decide he's going to be number 1 between the two of them. Now the last keeper, that's really cheap, and there is a reason for this then. He's only £3.50. It's Carlos Lampe, who had a good season, I think, last year. But he's now moved back to Bolivia, which I believe the league is not covered. He will be in their cup competition then. However, his scores won't count if he's in the league, so it's one that we picked up and looked at. I've just done a little bit more research onto him now and found out that he has moved away to Bolivia again. I want to have a look at his, we'll just look at his price anyway, because it's the last goalkeeper and I haven't got another one just to add to this list at the bottom. But we'll do a 6 month on his price. You can see there, yeah. He was up there at £100 and it's just slowly come down and he's now only £3. People are still buying him, because £3 he could use him as a DNP keeper, I guess. Just chuck him in there, but at the moment he looks pretty useless. At £3.50 though, that's what you'd expect for a goalkeeper at that price. But I thought we'd just have a quick look at him anyway. Looking at his SL5 scores last season, they were pretty good, weren't they? Not too bad. I mean, I want to look at all of them, all of his scores. And you can see he's having a lot of DMPs, and he got into the team and was doing really well. There's a spell there where he's had like 10, 15 games where he's getting 70s all the time, and then he's just pitted off. And we believe he has now left Atletico Tucumán and gone back to Bolivia. But he was a good goalkeeper. I mean, who's to say that he won't come back? I mean, look at these scores he was getting. Who's to say he won't come back into football? But at this age at the moment, then, what is he now? He's 35. No real contract here because he's gone to Bolivia somewhere and it's not tracked. So that's one that maybe just might be one of your favourites and you just want to stick him in your gallery just for the fun of it. But I wouldn't recommend buying him to do anything else. But that's Carlos Lampe, who was our last player on the list. So that's all the goalkeepers and the cheap ones. A few of them are disappointing because they're so low in price that there's obviously something going on there. You need to do more research into them. And it looks like you're going to have to pay a hell of a lot to get a decent goalkeeper. Put them ones that you've seen already that are cheaper, put them below, because you're probably screaming at me now saying, what about this guy? He's not included on your list, but he should be. So put him down. I might even put him on my list afterwards and add it to my watch list so you can all see them. The watch list will now become live because that's all the positions done, so you can see the goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, forwards. That will be available on soraredata. Go and have a look at it. In fact, we'll see it up here, look. So here's all the goalkeepers that we just listed, in order from highest price to lowest. But what we'll do now is we'll put them like this and do the whole lot. So you can see the whole list of all the players we've looked at in all the positions. And you'll see there that the highest price one we looked at was £35 and the lowest one was down at, I think it was like 50p or something, wasn't it, for Capel. A lot of players on this list, so it'll take a while to get through. Yeah, 66 pence for Capel. Go and have a look at them all. I'll now make this, instead of it being private, we'll now make that full. So let's change that then. Edit, and we will go to public, save. So that is now that watch list open to anyone that wants to look at it. And you'll see all them players, and you'll see all my other lists were on there. Probably a bit further down the list now. Germany under 23s are on there, 16 players on it, and so on and so on. Just go down and have a look at them. There's me over France and Spain as well. So remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that to help the channel. Hit that like button as well. It really helps the channel to grow. The next videos we'll be doing then, we'll be going, I think, scouting around the world still. We've done the Germany, France, Italy, Spain. We might have a look at South America. We might then go into Asia as well and have a look at a few of the players that are over in Asia. And we'll start building these lists up as they go along. And remember, they are ever changing because players get injured, prices go up and down, players get moved on and transferred, especially now around the January time. So keep an eye on that, and these lists will get updated as we go along. Keep putting comments in below. I love them last comments that you did. Really good insight for everybody that's on here as well. Take care, and we'll see you soon.